So in this video, we are going to learn how to automatically label emails and draft replies using AI. Let's say you own an e-commerce store and on a regular basis, you keep on getting a lot of emails. But there are some emails like advertisements and newsletter which you want to move to spam or trash, and some emails like the client emails, invoices, supplier emails, refund emails, you want to basically generate a reply for this email using AI. So let me tell you how one single automation can completely automate this whole process. So in this automation, whenever we are going to receive a new email in our Gmail account, we are going to send that same email to ChatGPT, or you can use any other AI platform like Google Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, or any other platform as well. Using the AI platform, we are going to categorize these emails. And after categorizing this email, if the email is advertisement or a newsletter or some kind of spam email, we are going to update the label of that same email and move it to the spam or the trash folder. But if there is some important email like some of the client email, supplier email, in that case what we are going to do, we are going to generate a reply for that email using ChatGPT or the AI platform. And after generating the reply, we are going to basically draft the same reply in our Gmail account as well. So automatically, when you will open your email account, you will have all the important emails with a reply generated by AI in the draft as well. Now, if you want to learn how you can set up this complete automation all by yourself, for that, you just have to come with me to my screen. So the flow of this automation will be something like this. Whenever we are going to receive a new email in our Gmail account, we are going to send that email body and subject line to ChatGPT. And we will ask ChatGPT to categorize this email. Once the categorization is done, then after that, in the next step, we are going to add router. We are going to create some different routes, different branches in this automation. Let's see, the first route is if the email category which is detected by ChatGPT is client, supplier, invoice, refund, or other. In that case, the automation workflow will be continued using this first route. Then we are going to send the same email to ChatGPT once again, and we will ask ChatGPT to generate a reply with subject line for that particular email. And after generating the reply for that email using ChatGPT or any other AI platform, we are going to send that same email to Gmail and draft that reply in our Gmail account. If the category of the email by ChatGPT is detected by advertisement or newsletter, in that case, we are not going to generate a draft of that email. We will just update the label of that particular email. If you get some newsletter or some kind of advertisement email, you can change the label to spam or trash or to any other label category as per your choice. So in the second scenario, we are not going to generate the reply. We are just going to change the label. Now let's go to Pabbly Connect and start creating this automation workflow over here. So as you can see, here we are on Pabbly Connect's dashboard. And to reach this dashboard, you will get a free sign-up link of Pabbly Connect in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can just create your free Pabbly Connect account in 2 minutes. After reaching to this dashboard, to start creating an automation workflow, click on this Create Workflow button and give this workflow a name. Let's say I would like to name my workflow as Automatically Label Emails and Draft Replies using AI. Then just select the folder of the Pabbly Connect account in which you want to create this automation and click on Create. And as we click on Create, here you can see the automation workflow will open in front of us. In this workflow, you can see we have 2 different windows. First one is the trigger window and second one is the action window. So triggers and actions are basically those 2 concepts, those 2 principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's get started with the trigger step. Now the idea here is, first we are going to connect our Gmail account with Pabbly Connect in the trigger step, so that whenever we are going to receive a new email in our Gmail account, automatically the same email will be received inside Pabbly Connect as well. After connecting our Gmail account and receiving the email, we are going to send the same email to ChatGPT to categorize that particular email. After getting the email category, we are going to create 2 different routes, 2 different branches in this automation workflow. If the category of the email falls into the first route, then the automation workflow will be continued using the first route. We are going to generate a reply for that same email using ChatGPT once again. And after generating the reply, we are going to save that reply as draft in our Gmail account. If the category of the email is advertisement or newsletter, then the workflow will be continued using the second route and we are going to update or change the label of that email in our Gmail account. So let's see how it is done. Starting from a trigger window in Choose app, search for Gmail and select it.
After selecting Gmail in trigger event from this drop-down, select the trigger event as new email. After selecting this trigger event, just click on connect and select add new connection. Now here, we have to connect our Gmail account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, click on this connect with Gmail button. Here in this pop-up window, select your Gmail account from which you want to capture the new emails from, scroll down and click on allow. And as we click on allow here, you can see our Gmail account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making the connection, it is asking us for the label ID. So in this dropdown, you can see a list of all the labels which I have created in my Gmail account. So the new email in which particular label you want to receive inside Pabbly Connect. We have to select that. So I want all the emails which I'm getting in my inbox of my Gmail account. So I've selected inbox as the label ID over here. And then it is asking us body content type. So the new emails which we are receiving from Gmail, in what type of content we want the body of the email to be. And here also we have two options. Either we can get a plain text email or an HTML email. So I would like to get a plain text email over here. So I'm selecting plain text over here. Now after selecting both of these options, there is an important note. And in this important note, you can get this hyperlink button of learn more. If you click on this learn more button, it will take you to a page on our forum. And at this page, you will get a step-by-step guide that how you are supposed to set up this Gmail trigger. You can just refer to this page over here or follow me through the video. So before clicking on this save and send test request button, what we have to do, we have to first turn this workflow button off. We have to turn off this workflow first. And we are going to create save and send test request after that. We are doing so because after clicking on save and send test request, Gmail actually sends us a test email, a dummy email details. That's why we have turned this workflow off and then we clicked on save and send test request. So as you can see, we have received this dummy message from Gmail over here. Now after this, what we can do, we can just turn this workflow on once again. And after turning it on, click on this capture webhook response button. So now it has changed to waiting for webhook response. This means this connection is done and now Pabbly Connect is waiting to capture a response from a Gmail account. So what we are going to do, I'll just go to another Gmail account, some other account, and from that account, I'm going to send an email. Let me click on this compose email button and then let me draft an email. Let me enter my email address first. After that, the subject line of this email which we are sending is, for example, refund request. And then let me enter a dummy email's body. Okay, so this is just a dummy email which I have created for a refund request. So I'm sending this email to the e-commerce store asking for the refund as a customer. After drafting this email, let me just click on this send button. And as I click on the send button, the email is sent. And also in my Gmail account, which I have connected inside Pabbly Connect in the trigger step, what you can do, you can just wait for a few seconds for that email to receive. And yes, here you can see that the email is received. Refund request, the same email with the same details is received over here. And because we have connected the same account inside Pabbly Connect in the trigger step, we will see in our Pabbly Connect workflow as well, in this trigger step, we have received the response. And yes, in this response, you can see the details of the same email. Here is the trigger ID of this particular trigger over here. Then after that, here you can see we have the email body over here. So this is the body of the exact same email which we have received in our Gmail account. We'll scroll down further and you can see some other details as well. Like we have the email address of the person who has basically sent this email. Then after that, here you can see we have the subject line of the email and then we have some other details related to this email as well. This means the step 1 of setting up this automation is completed, where we have successfully connected our Gmail account inside Pabbly Connect in the trigger step and captured the new email from our Gmail account in our Pabbly Connect workflow. Now after this, let's move to step 2. In step 2, we want to send the details of the same email to ChatGPT so that using ChatGPT, we can basically detect the category of the email and categorize this email that what kind of email it is. So for that, we'll just go to the action step and here in choose app, we'll just search for ChatGPT and select it. After selecting ChatGPT in action event from the dropdown, select the action event as Ask ChatGPT. Then just click on connect and select add new connection. Now here we have to connect our ChatGPT account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, we have to enter the API token of our ChatGPT account. Now you must be thinking how you can get this API token. So to get it, just log into your OpenAI account and go to the dashboard of your OpenAI account. After coming to the dashboard, from the left sidebar, click on this API keys button and then click on this create new secret key. Give this API key a name. Let's say I'm naming it as email replies. You can basically give any other name of your choice and then just select the permission as all and click on create secret key. As we click on create secret key, a new API key is generated. Copy the API key from here, go to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. And after pasting this API key, just click on save. Once we click on save, here you can see our OpenAI account, or should I say our ChatGPT account, will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making the connection, it is asking us to select the AI model. So in this drop-down, you can see a list of all the AI model, all the GPT models which we can use. And from this drop-down, you can basically select any model of ChatGPT as per your choice. Let's say I want to use GPT-4 for now to categorize this email, so I'm selecting GPT-4. But according to your choice, as per your requirement, you can use GPT 3.5, 3.5 Turbo, or any other model as per your choice. After selecting the AI model, it is asking us for the prompt, that what is the prompt that we want to give to ChatGPT. So I've already created a prompt. Let me paste that prompt over here. So I will just paste this prompt over here, and here it is. This is the prompt which I'm going to give to ChatGPT. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to analyze this email, and to this prompt, we are going to enter the subject line and the body of the email as well. And we are going to ask ChatGPT to give us the category of the email in this particular format only. Like we just want the category name. We don't want anything extra, like any extra text or any analysis of that email. We just want one word answer for the category. So the complete prompt is analyze this email and place it into one of these categories: clients, supply, invoice, refund, advertisement, newsletter, or other. Here I've mentioned these many categories, but if you want, you can just increase or decrease the categories over here, or you can just completely update this prompt as per your choice. I want you to categorize this email and only respond with the category name. Here we are going to mention the email subject line and email body which we have received from Gmail in the trigger step. Please do not add any extra text in the response. Respond in a valid JSON format using this example as a reference. And we have entered this format over here. Now in this prompt, what we have to do, we have to mention the subject line and the body of the email which we have received on our Gmail account. Basically which we have received in our trigger step. And to add the email details from our trigger step responses to this action step, we are going to use a process called mapping. And the process of mapping is very simple. Let's click on this field of prompt in front of email subject line. And after that, here in this drop down, you will see a list of all the responses which we have received from Gmail of a new email. Out of all of these responses, I'm going to just search for the response of subject line. And then here you can see we have received the response of subject line. Let's select it and it will be mapped. Now after that, let's click on this email body over here. Let's click on this front of email body. And from the drop down, we are going to select the response of email body. As you can see, message body, select it and map it over here. So in this way, we have basically mapped the responses of Gmail trigger step to this ChatGPT action step. After mapping the details and giving your prompt, let's click on Save and Send Test Request. And after clicking on Save and Send Test Request, here you can see we have received the response. And in this response, you can see we have this response of category, and the category is refund. So ChatGPT has analyzed this email and categorized this email in the category of refund over here. So the step 2 of setting up this automation is also completed. Using ChatGPT, we have successfully categorized this email as well. Now after this, let's move to step 3. In step 3, we are going to create two different routes, two different paths in this automation workflow. For that, just click on this Add Action Step button over here, and then here in Choose App, select Router over here. After selecting Router Pabbly in Action Event from the dropdown, select the action event as Conditionally Run and click on Connect. After clicking on Connect, you can see by default two routes are added. But by clicking on this Add Route button, you can basically create as many routes as you want, and you can basically set up the filter condition or create routes as per your requirement. Like in this video, we are taking the use case that we have only two different routes. In the first route, we are having the categories in which we want to generate a reply and save that reply draft in Gmail. And in the second route, we want to change the label of the email. But if you want, you can basically set up a different routes for each and every category as per your requirement. So here in route 1, what we have to do, let's click on this Set Filter and Action Step button. And then here to set up this route, the first thing it asks us is the filter. That what is the condition, what is the filter condition, how this automation or this router step will detect that the automation should be continued using this route. Now we are going to set up a condition that if the category of the email given by ChatGPT is refund, order, invoice, other, or anything like that, in that case, we are going to continue the automation workflow using this route. So here in select label in the dropdown, you can see a list of all the responses from previous two steps. Out of them, from the responses of ChatGPT, we are going to select this label, this response of category over here. The filter type will be equals to, and the value will be refund. Now after that, we are going to set up the similar filter condition using the OR condition for the other categories as well. Let's click on this add OR condition button over here, and then in select label from the drop down, let's select the same label of category, and this time we are going to add another category, that is invoice. Then after that, let's click on this add OR condition button once again, and in this way you can basically add as many conditions as you want. So I'm setting up the filter for another category, that is for example other. Then let's click on add OR condition. Let's select the same label as category, and after selecting the category, the next category was client. So we are going to set up the filter for client as well. And the last category over here, which we want to add in this route, is of supplier. So in this way, what we have done, we have added OR condition. So if the category is any one of this detected by ChatGPT, in that case, the automation workflow will be continued using this route, using route 1. Now, after adding all the filter condition in OR condition, click on this save and send test request. And as we click on save and send test request, because the email which we have captured, it was having the category as refund, like it was having any one category out of all of this. That's what is showing us the condition is true. Now after this, what we want to do, we want to generate the reply draft using ChatGPT for this email. So using this route, what we have to do, just click on this add action step button over here. Once again, search for ChatGPT, just select it. And after selecting ChatGPT in action event as well, let's click on this action event of ask ChatGPT. Click on connect. And because we have connected our ChatGPT account with Pabbly Connect in the previous step, we don't have to make a new connection. You can just select the existing connection and click on save. After clicking on save, here it is asking us to select the AI model. So once again from the drop down, you can basically choose any model of your choice. I'm going to continue with GPT-4. And here in prompt, we have to give the ChatGPT to prompt to generate the kind of the email reply we want. So I'll just paste the prompt, and this is the prompt over here. So this is the prompt I want to give to ChatGPT to generate a reply for the email. I have received this email for my e-commerce store and would like you to write a reply in a professional human tone. We are going to mention the subject line and the body of the email which we have received. Please provide the response in JSON format with two fields, subject and body. Refer to this example JSON, subject and body. Now we are asking ChatGPT to give us the response in JSON format because we want two separate responses. First one for the subject line of the email and second one for the body of the email. That's why what we have done, we have mentioned in our prompt itself that we want two different replies, two different fields in replies. The first field will be the subject line of the email and the second field will be the body of the email. Now, once again, what we have to do, we just have to map the subject line and the body of the email. So from Gmail responses, we'll just search for the subject line response, select it and map it. And then here we are going to map the response of email body as well. So let's select the response of email body and map it. So whatever email we have received, we are going to send the same email to ChatGPT to generate a reply. After giving the prompt and mentioning the subject line and body, what we have to do, let's click on just save and send test request button. After clicking on save and send test request, here you can see we are going to receive some response over here. And the response is received. And here you can see in this response, we have two different responses of subject and body because we have specified that we want the response in JSON format for two different fields. Here in the subject line, you can see we have the subject line as reply because we are replying to an email, refund request or order, and we have mentioned the order ID. So ChatGPT has given us a nice subject line. And also here you can see that we have basically received the reply for the same email as well. So in this way, what we have done using AI, we have generated the reply for the email too. Now what we want to do, we want to basically add this same email in our Gmail account as a draft. So for that, we will scroll down, click on this add action step button over here. And then here in choose app, we'll search for Gmail. Just select it. After selecting Gmail in action event from the drop down, we are going to select the action event as create draft or create draft reply. So because we are generating a reply for an existing email, that's why I'm going to select create draft reply as the action event. Then just click on connect. And because we have connected our Gmail account in the trigger step, we don't have to make a new connection. You can select the existing connection and click on save. And as we click on save here, you can see that our Gmail account will get connected with Pabbly Connect. After making this connection, it is asking us for the thread ID. So in this dropdown, you can see a list of all the email threads which I will be having in my Gmail account. So for which particular thread we want to draft this reply over here, we have to enter that thread ID. So we have received the thread ID from Gmail responses in the trigger step. So we have to map it. And to make this field dynamic or to map the data over here, just turn this mapping button on in front of it and clear this default response. And from the drop down, what we have to do from Gmail responses, we have to search for the response of thread ID and map it over here. So whatever will be the thread ID of the email which we are receiving from Gmail in the trigger step, for the same email, we are going to generate the draft reply. Then after mapping the thread ID, it is asking us for the email address. But because we have mentioned the thread ID, it is not mandatory to mention the recipient email address. So we can just keep this field blank. If you want to add someone from your team or from your company in CC or BCC, you can mention their email address over here. Then it is asking us for the sender email address. So I have some aliases in my email account and you can see a list of all of them in this dropdown. So from which email address you want to send the email, you have to select it. Then after that, it is asking us for the name. What will be the name of the sender who is going to send the email? So let's say I want to send the email from my business name that was Stellar Store. So I'll just enter the sender name as Stellar Store. The email content type is plain text. We are not creating an email in HTML. We are creating the email in plain text. Then it is asking us for the email content. So we'll just click on this field. And using ChatGPT in our router in the previous step, we have generated the reply, the body of the email as well. So from the ChatGPT responses, let's select and map the response of the email body over here. And then it is asking us for the signature. Now, if you want, you can basically add the signature as per your choice. But right now, I just want to go with the default signature. If you have created multiple signature, in this dropdown, you will get a list of all of them. And you can basically map the signature of your choice. Also, it has not asked us for the subject line because we are replying to the existing email thread. But if in case you use this action of create draft, in that case, it is going to ask you for the recipient email address and also for the subject line. So in that case, you can just map the recipient email address received in the trigger step and map the subject line as well. Then after entering all of these details, it is asking us for the label ID. So I want to keep the label ID as same. I don't want to change any label ID over here. And then it is asking us the file name and attachment URL. Like if you want, you can add some kind of file attachment in the draft email which we are creating in our Gmail account. But right now, we don't want to add any attachment. That's why we are ignoring this field. If you want to add the attachment, you can mention the file name over here and the link of the attachment file over here. And after mapping the email body and basically mapping the thread ID, just click on this save and send test request button. Now, as we click on save and send test request here, you can see we are going to receive some response over here and the response is received. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the email body which we have mapped for that email, a reply in thread is generated. So what we are going to do, I'll just go to my email account over here and then I'll just go back over here. Let's go to the draft section. Let's go to drafts. And yes, here you can see that for the same email which we have received, a draft email is generated over here. Let me change the font of this draft email over here. So here we have the reply for that complete email. So as you can see, the same email body which was generated by ChatGPT, the same email is added as a draft, created as a draft in our Gmail account. So the first route of setting up our automation is completed. We have successfully created this route in which if the email category is, for example, client, refund, other, or basically invoice, in that case, what we are going to do, we are going to generate a reply for that email over here. Now let's set up the route 2. In second route, what we have to do, we'll set up the filter condition, like if the category of the email detected by ChatGPT is advertisement or newsletter. So I'm going to select the label as category over here, filter type is equal to, and the value is newsletter. And we are going to add an or condition over here, and that is for the advertisement. So in ChatGPT, let's select the same category and let's add the value as advertisement. So we have basically added these two filters for newsletter and advertisement with the or condition. Now let's click on save and send test request. And as we click on save and send test request, here you can see it is showing us that the condition is false because the response of the email which we have captured, it was a refund email and it is not an advertisement or newsletter email. So this means this filter condition is working perfectly fine. Now after this, what we want to do, if the advertisement or email newsletter is the category of the received email, then we just want to update the label. So let's click on this add action step button, and here in choose app, for one last time, just search for Gmail and select it. This time the action event will be add or update label to email. Then just click on connect, select the existing connection and click on save. And as we click on save, we will see our Gmail account will get connected with Pabbly Connect once again. After making this connection, the first thing it asks us is email to be labeled. That what is the email whose label we want to change over here. We have to map that email over here. So what we have to do, just turn this mapping button on, and after that, just click on this field, and from the drop down, from the trigger step responses which we have received from Gmail, we have to basically search for the unique message ID, unique email ID. And here it is. Just select this response of message ID and map it over here. After mapping the message ID in this email to be labeled field, it is asking us for the label to add. So in this dropdown, you can see a list of all the labels which I have in my Gmail account. Out of all of this, all the emails which are marked as advertisement or newsletter, I want to move to the spam folder over here. So that's why I'm selecting spam over here. And if you want, you can basically add multiple labels in this dropdown. So here from the dropdown, you can select as many labels as you want from your Gmail account. But right now, I only want to add one email, that is spam. And then it is asking us for the label to be removed, that if you want to remove any existing label from this email or not. So from the drop down, I want to remove the label of inbox. So all of these email will be received in my inbox. So I want to remove the label of inbox and add the label of spam to the advertising and newsletter emails which I'm receiving. After mapping the thread ID, selecting the labels which you want to add and selecting the labels which you want to remove, just click on save and send test request. And as you click on save and send test request, here you can see we have received a response. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that basically the email which we have received, whose response we have captured in the trigger, is moved to spam. So I'll just go to my Gmail account over here. I'll just go to the spam folder, and here on the spam folder, here you can see the same email is received. So this email which was earlier in inbox is now moved to spam folder. So this means the automation workflow which we have created using Pabbly Connect, this automation is successfully created. And now using this automation, whenever we are going to receive a new email in our Gmail account, using ChatGPT, we are going to categorize the email. And on the basis of the category of the email, either we are going to draft a reply for that email and save the draft in Gmail, or we are going to change the label of that email in our Gmail account, and we can move it to any label like spam, trash, or any other label of our choice. Now, after setting up this automation, we are going to test this automation workflow once. For that, I'll go back to the another Gmail account which I have, and I'm going to create another email. Let me enter my email address over here, and then let me enter the subject line and the email body. Okay, so as you can see, this is an advertisement email which I have created over here. Now let's send this email. After sending this email, within few seconds, you will see we'll get this email in our email account, in our email inbox, which we have connected inside Pabbly Connect. So let's wait for a few seconds over here. And yes, here you can see just now I have received this email over here. Now after receiving this email, what you can see over here, that this is an advertisement email. And we will see as we receive this email, instantly, immediately, the automation workflow which we have created inside Pabbly Connect will trigger. So we'll just go to the workflow history, and here you can see that the automation workflow is triggered over here, and it has basically completed 5 steps. So here you can see we have the same email which we have resigned just now for the advertisement over here. Now after receiving this email, this workflow is completely executed. It has basically detected the category of the email as advertisement, and after detecting the category, it has basically checked the filter condition of route 1 which was not fulfilled, but the filter condition of route 2 which we have created is showing us the condition is true. Means basically we have created the second route for the advertisement and newsletter email, and this automation is continued using route 2, and it has basically changed the label of the email in our Gmail account. So I'll just go back to my Gmail account, and here you can see this email has been removed from my email inbox. And if I go to the spam section over here, under spam folder, you can see the same email is added. This means the automation workflow which we have created using Pabbly Connect, this automation is working perfectly fine. So not just these applications, you can connect plenty of other applications with Pabbly Connect. And one more important thing, Pabbly Connect offers you a free plan. And in this plan, you will get some free tasks every month into your own Pabbly Connect account. So if you want to try and test this automation, you can just do it for absolutely free. Also, let me tell you that you will get a clone link of this exact same automation workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can just clone the same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account.
So if this video was helpful to you, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with others, or if you have any kind of doubts or queries, you can always write us in the comment box below or email us at support@pabbly.com. Also, you can post your queries on our forum as well. And if you want to check the pricing of Pabbly Connect, you can visit this link. So this is it for today's video. Thank you. Have a great day.